Good God. Hey, we're tiny compared to what we normally are. But that makes sense because I got stuff up.
Oh, look, I see us on the TV.
You see us on the TV. You put it on the
Yeah,
TV?
Yeah, I got us on the TV. So I'm watching us.
Well, see, I had to I hung the TV in the office over there in the corner, and I hadn't bothered to hook it up to it yet. So I'm tired. I'm hurting. It's been a long few weeks for me. I've been working on a fence. I've cut a tree down. I'm sore. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm just wore out.
Well, I worked Monday. I worked 13 hours, then 13 hours Tuesday, and 14 hours yesterday, so I can get my 40 hours.
There you go.
And I had a doctor's appointment today. So,
how'd that go?
I'm alive.
Hey, I know that feeling. I get to restart physical therapy again.
Gas prices are down around here, and people are still bitching about. They were talking about. Oh, I read this thing on Channel 8 Facebook page. It was talking about stranded drivers because of gas.
Well, that's their own damn fault. They should have put gas in before they went somewhere.
I understand there's things that you need to pick and choose of what you got to have, but I'm almost guaranteeing you that you don't need that cable TV. If you can't afford your gas, you don't need that cable TV.
Amen.
You don't need that Hulu. You don't need that Netflix.
Yeah, I gave up Hulu. Hulu's a fucking joke.
There's a thing called DVDs, and you can go get you a $5 DVD over at Walmart.
Speaking of DVDs, let me just stop my share for a minute and let me show you what I've got here. And you probably won't know any of these movies, but Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Rowdy Piper, Grunt, the wrestling movie, and I Like to Hurt People. Now, I Like to Hurt People has the Sheik, the original Sheik, baby, not the Iron Sheik, not that jabroni.
Is Grunt? Is it about midgets?
There's some midgets in there.
Okay, I like midget wrestling.
But it's mainly okay. So Grunt is now Grunt and Hell Comes to Frogtown are rated R movies. Let me just tell you this. So you can't watch these with the kids. Now, I Like to Hurt People. You probably shouldn't watch with the kids either because they do a lot of stabbing each other with pencils and foreign objects, kind of like they did on Blood and Guts last night, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But Grunt is about this outrageous comedy, features a documentary crew setting out to unravel one of professional wrestling's most closely guarded secrets. His former champion, Mad Dog Joe D. Caruso, who is rumored to have committed suicide after accidentally decapitating his opponent, really still alive and masquerading as the flamboyant, marvelous Mass Marvel. I have not finished watching it yet. Now, I did enjoy I Like to Hurt People. But, it's got the exotic Adrian Street does a lot of the singing and stuff in it, so it's pretty cool. And this one just came in this morning. Championship Wrestling from Florida. Look at there. Got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And it's got some Harley Race. And it kind of just tells you all about, the shocking death of Eddie Graham and all the wrestling history there from Florida. It's a pretty interesting thing. I look forward to watching that later on today as well. So those are my finds this week.
I got my 2 pair of shoes coming in.
There you go. See, you got
2 pairs coming in. I've got something special coming in, and I don't want to say nothing just yet because I kind of want to be a surprise for everybody.
Okay.
Thought it was a pretty cool buy. Probably didn't need to pay for it, probably buy it, but you know what?
I've been there.
It said it was a deal. So you know me, I'm a sucker. So, hey, it is what it is. But if I get it this weekend, I might holler at you to see if we can do a little live. And so I
Sounds
can show
good.
you and everybody else because I think it's
Hey,
pretty cool.
I got nothing but fucking time, okay? I'm nothing but the house bitch. I just sit around here all day doing nothing. I've
I was
been,
wondering when you're going to come out.
well, I mean,
Did it make you feel better that I sent you that thing about David Carr? Not David Carr. Was it David Carr? The quarterback for the Raiders?
Yes, did he come out a straight man? I like that.
Yeah, he came out as being
I like it. Well, I'm coming out as the house bitch because I've been working on repairing the fence and fixing the gates and mowing the yard for myself and the neighbor and chop down a tree. And I got to go get a new chainsaw. I got to get my hairdo done. Even though I get my hair and nails done, I'm still a straight man. So thank you for loving me, people. I appreciate it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I like a good pedicure myself.
Oh, they're great. I love my fucking feet, Tud.
I do too. The only problem is it's funny when the little Oriental women look at me and laugh at me because, I've got nerve damage from wrestling. And so when they go to rub my feet, I start kicking a little bit.
Yeah, like a dog.
Knowing that I mean, it feels good. I mean, that's when my dog kicks, is when you rub him in the right place, he'll start kicking.
Hey, there it is. My dogs do too. So I get to restart physical therapy next week for my neck and back, and apparently I've done something to my rotator cuff while repairing the homestead. So
want to throw a little shout out to somebody. Hope he gets better soon. Happened the other day. What day was it? Monday? Tuesday? Monday? Monday? Tuesday? Monday? Tuesday is when it happened. During a workout, a friend of ours was lifting some weights, and his knee popped, and he got taken to the ER by his wife, and he has a torn ACL.
Oh, snap.
And he's got to go see his doctor to get a referral, which makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
But that's just how the medical field is.
Yeah, it don't make no fucking sense.
He's going to have to find him a surgeon and get that fixed. But thoughts and prayers go out to Chris Hollywood.
Oh shit, poor Chris.
So yeah.
So let me run through a few things here. You know the drill. We're going to thank Aces for the belts. They do custom belts, custom boots. Of course, Mad Rabbit code Divine 20 saves you 20% off, and of course the Slam Buddies. They'll be here soon. Then I'll actually get to show them to you. Don't forget, if you are in Dothan, Alabama on Saturday, they have the Fan Fest, as well as they have a wrestling event scheduled. Miranda Gordy was supposed to challenge for the NWA Women's Championship, but she suffered a concussion and will not be challenging for the NWA Women's title. Let's talk about this.
Okay. Hey, is there Money in the Bank this weekend too?
Yeah, Money in the Bank's this weekend, but
Saturday, right?
Someday.
Okay. Let's talk about the greatest tag team in all space and time right now.
In the whole fucking galaxy. They've been Raw Tag Team Champions. They've been SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They've been NXT Tag Team Champions. Right now, of course, they've been AEW Tag Team Champions as well. Right now, they are the reigning, defending, undisputed Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, AAA Tag Team Champions, and IWGP Tag Team Champions as of Forbidden Door. The greatest fucking tag team, and I'm proud to call them my friends, FT fucking R, man.
They are fucking awesome.
Top guys. I had to mention them on the show today, even if we didn't talk about Forbidden Door at all. I didn't care. I had to put these boys over because they're holding 3 major sets of tag titles.
I agree. You're holding 3 different continents right now.
You got the American version of the Ring of Honor. You got the Mexican version of the AAA. You got the Japanese championships and the IWGP, which apparently is the Grand Prix something or other. I don't know. Somebody said IWGP stands for Independent World Grand Prix or International World Grand Prix or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit last week. Well, not on here, but the other day. Well, me and you just BSing back and forth.
Right.
I didn't realize that there was a new. I knew there was a new title, but people change titles all the time. But I didn't realize that there was this version of the IWGP title.
I thought it had been the same for a few years now, but I didn't realize they had changed it here recently.
But the original IWGP champion, the first one, was Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
The first Japanese world champion was an American. They're real American.
Yeah. In some people's opinion, I think he's just an asshole, but that's my opinion.
I had the one time I met him, I had a good response with him.
I've met him a few times and he was always nice. I just never liked him.
Well, I can understand that because your style of guys that you like are the smaller guys.
The catch scan, can do the high flying if they want to. I mean, my name today is the Heartbreak Villain, so that tells you who one of my favorite.
I know what kind of guys you like, and you like what.
I'm not gay.
It's okay. It's still June.
Okay.
So, look.
Oh God.
I have family that are gay. I have friends that are gay. And guess what? I support them in anything they want to do.
Hey, me too. I ain't got nothing against the gay people.
I have nothing against it. So,
I mean,
people don't even get their panties in the damn water.
That's like my neighbor didn't know that Bowen, Anthony Bowen, was gay. He mentioned it the other night when we were watching Forbidden Door. I hit the wrong button. I was like, yeah, he's gay. He's been gay.
Guess what? Sonny Kiss is too.
Yeah, no shit. So, let me ask you this. What did you think of the FTR match? I did get worried about Dax because I know his shoulder and they had to take him to the back. So,
I was worried about that. I was like, well, damn, I said, I had a feeling FTR was going to win.
I did too, and then I thought they called him audible.
I picked them. So I was like, all right, who are they going to have win this one? Because now they're fixing to lose their ROH titles.
Right.
And then he come back in and finished the match, was able to do it, pull it off, and they had an outstanding match. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie, Forbidden Door surprised me.
Yeah.
I really felt like it was going to be one of these shows that was kind of a waste of our money. But it wasn't. I'm not going to say mine because, well, I watched it off you this time.
We know you, bum.
But I mean, I paid for it last time, but I thought it was kind of a waste of money.
I know, right?
But yeah, I saw this come out.
Yeah, this was mentioned during their media scrum, which I will address some of the media scrum because I really enjoyed it, and I think Tony Khan made himself look like a real bitch during the media scrum.
I heard he was doing a lot of hugging on the guys. Yeah,
and then I'll talk about it in a minute. Just hold on. We got Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. They're coming to Lowell, Massachusetts, I guess.
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah, see, look at you being smart. On July 8th, the tickets go on sale. This will be Saturday, July 23rd. Now, Death Before Dishonor has always been a big show for these guys. Rumor has it we're going to get Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal for the ROH TV title. Other than that, I don't know anything about what's going to happen there. Now, I threw this up here because, okay, everybody knows Joey Janela, Marco Stunt are gone from the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stu Grayson is gone from the company. I didn't know that one until I seen this.
Stu's been out for a while.
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention. Apparently now Alan Angels is gone, as well as a number of other originals whose contracts are quietly being dilapidated. And then let's jump on that McMahon train for a minute here.
I love this. Oh, Vinnie Mac.
Yeah, let's talk about Vinnie Mac for a minute. And that'll bring me to another topic that I want to talk about today as well, which kind of breaks my heart in a way. But here we got Vinnie Mac. He paid the $3 million as a settlement to a departing employee, and is currently under investigation for it. And of course, now we've got this Rita Chatterton coming out from 86 here, saying that Vince forced her to give him head and fuck in a limo to keep her job, or she would be blackballed from the industry.
Then she wants to bring it up. Then she wants to bring it up 6 years later.
And now she wants to bring it up in 2022.
Sit your ass down.
Here's my thing, okay? I always thought, and I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody. Let me be clear. I do not condone rape of any kind, whether it be statutory, whether it be husband-wife, and the wife being sleeping and the husband climbing on it, whatever the fucking case may be. I don't condone rape of any kind. But let me stress this. I thought there was a statute of limitations for how much bullshit we had to put up with in our justice system. Is there not a statute of limitations anymore? Have they thrown that out the fucking window? I mean, they just overturned Roe and Wade, right? The abortion thing that was from years ago. So apparently the statute of limitations has been thrown out. I mean, what has this country come to that we are going back? I mean, what's next? Are we going to go back and overturn some of these fucking civil rights things too? Are we that desperate for attention in the government that we are going to do dumb shit? And now, you know, I mean, I don't believe, okay, and I want to say this with as much compassion as I can. I don't want to sound like a real asshole when this comes out of my mouth, and I apologize if I do. I am a heel. But when it comes to civil rights and women's rights, I am very passionate about that. I mean, I have daughters. I'm married to my wife. I believe that she deserves equal pay and treatment, and I believe our daughters do too. But I also believe that Black, brown, Asian, Caucasian, everybody should be on an equal playing field. It shouldn't matter what color you are. It shouldn't matter if you're Native American, African American, Asian American, Chinese American, whatever you associate as. I mean, I'm Native American because I have Cherokee and I think Choctaw or some other shit. I mean, if we were to go back and dig into everybody's history, everybody's, you know, played a little bit in the jungle, if you know what I'm saying. You know, apparently the Indians back in the day were hoes and would fuck just about anything they could. So my point here is, why aren't we all, here it is 2022, and we're still screaming racism, sexism, feminism, all this other bullshit. Can we not put these words on the ban list? I mean, you want to cancel something, cancel racism, feminism, sexism, cancel the bullshit hate. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And that's one thing I do love about wrestling, because it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what sex you are, because it can bring us all together. And I really feel like we need that unity now more than ever, because our government and our media, the media outlets, and I'm talking like CNN and MSNBC and all these other media outlets, they want to put these words out there daily. Okay? None of my family, and this is the honest to God's truth, none of my family was ever rich enough to own slaves back in the day. We were treated as such. Okay? We picked the cotton by hand. I can remember being a kid and using a sack and walking up and down the field, following my family, picking up fucking watermelons and cantaloupes and shit and piling them at the end of the field. Okay? So I don't get it. I grew up poor. I worked my ass off for what I have, and so does my wife. And I teach my kids the value of $1 every day. And the only thing that should matter in this country is your work ethic. This shit of her coming out 6 years later and now here in 2022, how many ever fucking years later that is, it's just bullshit. All this shit, I mean, it makes me ill. It's time for people to grow the fuck up. If you were really worried about him sexually assaulting you, you would have done something about it then. That's my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I mean,
too much bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, if he did this, he needed to be taken care of then.
Right.
Why? Why wait 6 years and try to do something then?
Right.
Because he fired you?
Right.
You got let go, so you don't have a job? I don't know.
And then that brings me to this poor fella. Someone you are a huge fan of, and really, I wasn't really a huge fan of Joey Ryan, but he grew on me after his situation became aware to me. This man was working in, I guess, California at one of the Disneyland Jungle Cruise things. And now he has been terminated. You know, that's been brought to our attention that he was terminated because they didn't know about the allegations against him and all this other bullshit. I have been informed that he is dealing with a federal case. Don't know anything about it. Don't have any of the information or details on the federal case. But, you know, all these people came out during the Speak Out movement and accused a bunch of people. Okay, if we are going to hang someone for something they did in their past, let me just skip right on over here and let's hang Rocky Johnson. Okay, let's do a lot of different things today. Let's jump on everybody's ass, because you sent me this just a little while ago and I was reading it and I thought, you know, this motherfucker got 5 other kids besides The Rock.
And he's already got 2 other siblings that he knows of.
Right. So now he's got 7 siblings that his daddy went out there and popped off on and made.
In Canada.
In Nova Scotia, and all these other wonderful places while he was up there wrestling. It doesn't make any sense to me that we want to hang people out. And I'm not condoning if Joey Ryan really did any of the shit they say he did. I'm not condoning it, but he has been going to therapy, and he admitted he's a sex addict. It happens. People are sex addicts, drug addicts, alcohol addicts. I'm a tobacco addict. You know, if I could get my fucking hand, I'll just be honest with you. If I get my hand on some fucking hydros right now, I'd probably be an addict to them some bitches, because I'm in so much pain. It's unreal. But
man, you screw. See, the man's not wrestling no more because of it.
Right. He has no job, and now they fired him from Disneyland.
So now he ain't got a job.
Period.
Because people want to be messy.
Right.
And he's trying to do right. He's just trying to live his life, because he's not wrestling no more.
My thing is, here you go. You can, if you're gonna hang somebody out to dry, what are you gonna do? You're gonna let them live off the government for the rest of their life? How are they supposed to pay their bills?
Here's a good question. Has he been found guilty of anything?
Amen. I like that question. Thank you.
If nobody has been found guilty of anything
in the court of law,
there's no charges against him or anything. Shut the fuck up. There's a difference in a civil case and a criminal case.
Yeah, you damn right.
Civil ain't got shit to do with criminal.
Nope.
Sit your fucking ass down.
And that's where we are with some of this shit. I mean, you got Vince McMahon dealing with it now. Is he going to step down from the company completely? Probably. He's probably not going to be as active. Granted, he's really enjoying boosting those ratings. He's been coming out on Raw and SmackDown and pumping them ratings up for everybody. But
they went down a little bit, even though Big Match John showed up.
Yeah, well, I don't think Big Match John is as over as he used to be.
I don't know. He was over, and I think them doing all the back stuff before he coming out kind of killed that a little bit.
Maybe.
But they got a pretty good little acknowledgement when Theory showed up.
Yeah, I think him in Theory.
So I think him and Theory at SummerSlam is going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I do want to note that during the John Cena thing, let's talk about that Forbidden Door, because Jericho, Big Show, and Daniel Bryan were all featured heavily in a video package for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting there. Very interesting.
I actually watched that a while ago.
I have not watched Raw probably in 3 weeks now since Cody's been out. I'll admit it. I tuned back into Raw at Mania when Cody returned just to see how they were going to treat Cody, what they were going to do with him. And when Cody got hurt, I kind of tuned it out. I watch the pay-per-views and stuff like that, but I don't watch the weekly show. Now, I watch AEW religiously. Let me be honest about that. My wife, and we sit there last night and we watched Blood and Guts. So let's jump into that. And what did you think? Because you were behind on it, whereas I was, watching it live.
Yeah, I watch. Okay, so even if I get home on time,
right,
I wait a little bit so I can go through the commercials.
Right, I don't blame you. I wish I could do that.
I like what they're doing differently with the announcers. JR is going to start calling the second hour of Dynamite, and he's going to be calling Rampage.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with his health.
And I figure that might be. And but that's going to help him prolong his career.
Yeah.
And that's going to give us that voice on Friday night that we want, because I don't care for the announce team on Friday night.
Yeah, I don't either. Jericho does good, and Taz isn't bad. But they throw so many different people up there. Like, I mean, I've heard Ricky Starks up there. And Ricky Starks is good, and I love Ricky Starks. He's a New Orleans boy, so I'll always stand by Ricky Starks. But there's just not somebody that brings a credible oomph to it, if you know what I mean.
I think it needs to be a two-man.
Yeah.
Keep it two or three. Well, we ain't got to fill the whole damn table up.
No, that's
look. All of Jericho's guys are not on Rampage.
Nope.
Keep Taz off of Rampage.
Yeah.
His guys are always on there.
Yep.
So let's put, if you want to put a wrestler out there, put Jericho out there. Keep Excalibur off the fucking show.
Thank you. Mr. Man in the Mask. I don't like him.
I'm
so sick of hearing Tope Suicida.
And Taz called Claudio Cesaro.
I heard that.
Well, then JR called him Cesaro because of that.
Right. And somebody called Ruby Soho Ruby Riott.
That was Taz.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. But they say JR's the one with the Alzheimer's. No.
I love JR. I love listening to JR. JR's been in it almost 50 years.
Yeah, I mean he's got the voice for it. He knows what he's doing. He raised himself in and around this business. He's paid his dues. JR will always be my childhood, man. I just
Oh, he was
cold.
the voice of the Attitude Era.
Stunner.
How many matches that we like to watch did he call?
Probably every damn one of them.
Exactly.
You know, I mean that, and the poor man, he's had a rough life. Let's be honest. He's had 2 battles with Bell's palsy.
Several.
I think he's had a stroke. I know he's had the skin cancer. Lost his wife and had to deal with that. I don't remember what it was that caused his ribs. He done something to his ribs. He was all bruised up and stuff. But I mean, he's had a hell of a ride, and he's doing everything he can. You know, he's truly a legend, a living legend in this business. And let's talk about Sting too.
Jesus Christ.
Does he have a death wish? I mean, has he lost his marbles? I mean, he's jumped off more shit in his 60s than I ever seen him jump off of when he was doing Surfer Sting back in the day. I mean, seriously, like Forbidden Door, he doesn't come out. He comes off the entryway and jumps off the entryway. Like, what are we doing? Like,
it gives us hope.
I know my old ass ain't getting up in there and doing it. I'm telling you that right now. I'm hurting too bad right now. I can barely lift my arm.
When my mom gets home, I'm going to see if she'll do an elbow drop off the top of the house.
There you go. Record that shit. We'll put it on YouTube. I mean, I think he's lost his goddamn mind. I'm telling you, he's in his 60s. He's jumping off shit left and right. I mean, he went through 4 tables and he come off on the stage. I mean, that makes me worry.
I watched BTE Monday.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched it yesterday. And that match meant the world to the Bucks.
Oh, I imagine.
Because they just wanted, it was their first time wrestling Sting.
Yeah.
And who was the guy that he teamed with? And doing that damn nipple spot was hilarious.
Oh, Phantasmo. You talking about the Bullet Club guy.
Yeah.
Sting forgot. They had to remind him to go back in and do the nipple spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got ahead of himself and went out, and they were like, hey, go back in and twist his titties. And he had to go back in and do the nipple spot. It was great. Yeah, it was, and that's like, people don't realize just how fucking amazing some of the older guys are. Okay, let's talk about William Regal. I love William Regal. That is somebody I would love to just get in a car, or I would buy him dinner just to sit down and pick the brain of Lord William Regal, because he is so knowledgeable, so entertaining. And I just think that he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done in this business. You know, he put fucking Danhausen over here in New Orleans. He took and I've got the video up on the YouTube channel. Check it out if you want to. He took the curse, had the wobbly legs, and did the whole thing. It was great. But Regal can be funny. He can be villainous. He can be, he can be a serious wrestler when he needs to be. He talked last night about some of his last matches with Claudio Castagnolo. I say the last name wrong on purpose just to piss people off. And John Moxley, and how they, Moxley ripped his fucking earlobe off, and Cesaro stumped his fucking head. So I can still remember Triple H being in WCW and teaming up with William Regal, and then being called the Blue Bloods, and then him teaming up with Bobby Eaton and doing that shit. You know what I mean? Regal's been around for years. People don't give him the credit he's due. And that's a lot of the problem. That's also like, and you know, people I've heard so much bullshit since Forbidden Door. And I don't. All right, let's talk about the media scrum. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of explain some of this bullshit I've heard and what gets to me and what doesn't. Tony Khan acted like a little schoolgirl. Okay, he's hugging on everybody. The only person he didn't hug on was Jay White, and I'll tell you why. When
Jay
Switchblade
White ain't going for that shit.
No, when Switchblade come out, you know his arm. He's legit he's had an arm injury. When he comes out, he wants help putting the belt on the stand. The belt falls on the ground. That's disrespectful. Disrespectful as hell. They let the belt fall on the ground. Jay White goes heel. Jay White stays in fucking character. He's heel from the minute he gets up till the minute he goes to bed. He tries to live that character, at least when the camera is on. And I don't blame him. Same way MJF is. If you want to have a believable buy-in character, you got to live it like Flair did. That's my opinion.
Sure.
That doesn't mean go out there and have 15 divorces, Carl, and be in the hole when you die. That means be that damn good and make it look like you're that damn good. Okay, we don't want to catch up with Flair on the divorces, okay? I think you're close, right?
I got 3.
Okay, well, I got 2. Together, we've caught up with him. How about that? But, no, I mean, seriously, Tony Khan acted like he was going to piss his pants. He didn't know how to handle Jay White. Like, Jay White's pissed off, and he's chewing the guy out because the belt fell, and he's being heel. And Tony Khan's there going, I'm like, dude, you look like you're fucking having withdrawals from the cocaine or something. Calm down. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
Right.
I don't get it. Like, you're all wild-eyed and shit. I'm like, man, the fuck? Everybody else comes out, oh, give me a hug. Give me a hug. I mean, I thought he was going to drop down and blow Cesaro on the stage. Like, he's all bare. I'm like, I thought this was wrestling, okay? These guys have a character to maintain, and you're making them look like they're your bitch. Or maybe you're making them look like you're their bitch.
I heard Tony Khan did a lot of things that would make some memes.
Yeah, he did. But that brings me to my point that I kind of understand now why we're where we're at with so many of these original AEW guys' contracts expiring and so many of these WWE guys coming in, because you got this little mark that's running his show. You know what I'm saying? This little mark that wants to book certain people. Bring me a Coke, will you? What is that? Junk?
McDonald's.
They brought me some junk. But you never know. I mean, it really does throw me off that Tony Khan lets talent go to waste. Like, I just don't understand. I'm checking this out here. I feel like I've been poisoned. I think they're trying to get rid of me around here. Yep, they are. Ew, pickle. No one pickles in this house. I'm in the middle of a live. What you need? But yeah, I mean, I feel like Tony Khan is a mark for himself and can't think outside the box. I mean, I feel like Tony Khan. I think, yeah, I may be wrong, but I think that's what's wrong with AEW right now. Y'all want some spoilers?
Oh, there's the media scrum. I didn't get to see the media scrum yet.
Oh, yeah. Let them watch it. That's good shit.
I would, but I'm kind of in the middle of doing some shit.
Okay, well, get in the middle of it in. What you think's wrong with Tony Khan?
I don't think you need to be sitting there. I don't know. I understand he wants to be a cool boss and stuff, but
Hugging the boys.
sitting there hugging the boys is kind of weird.
Uh-huh. Very.
Okay, so I want to tell you a funny story that happened out of Forbidden Door. Actually, it happened last Wednesday. It happened Wednesday before Forbidden Door.
All right, go ahead. My microphone broke.
Okay, so the Bucks show up and they're excited about getting to see old friends they haven't got to see in a while and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
Been a few years since they've been able to get to New Japan, over to Japan, and see all their old buddies and stuff. Yeah. So they're all excited about doing this. Well, Nick Jackson's sitting there telling this story. He's like, he said, one guy that I was very close to, looking forward to seeing, and that's Okada.
Oh, shit.
Well, Okada flight was late because of all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of issues. They even admitted on BTE about injuries and COVID and all that. But they had to deal with to just be able to pull off Forbidden Door.
Right.
So all of a sudden, Okada comes up and he goes, "Hey, Nick." And he turns around and gives him a hug and everything, and they're getting to see each other. He goes, "Where's your gear?" And he turned around, he goes, "Wait, what? Where's your gear?" Then he drops his pants and does the Young Buck pose. Yeah. And he said, "I ain't seen this man in 3 years and he's still ribbing me right off the bat."
That's the friendships you build in this business, man.
So it was entertaining. It was a good story.
It was.
And you know what? I didn't know half the fucking guys on there. I've heard some of them. And it was a pretty good show. But I don't think it has to happen all the time.
Well, and that's the thing. I know they want to do it yearly. I think this is going to become an annual thing. But here's the problem. Because New Japan doesn't go through talent like AEW and WWE do. They keep the same guys for years. Okay? Now, they bring in some gay jeans, gal jeans, whatever you want to call them, American wrestlers. But they don't, like Okada's been there for years. He grew up as a young boy. He worked as a ringside attendant. Went through all the dojos. They sent him out on his journey where he went to all these different places. But they don't go through talent like some of these people do when it comes to, WWE. And they don't end up with a lot of the injuries either, I've noticed. I don't know what that's about. But let's.
I think Okada did pretty good. I guess that his first time wrestling in America.
No. No, he wrestled the villain at All In. Remember?
No.
Yeah, he wrestled him in Chicago at All In when they took on Meltzer's bet. Yeah, I mean he's been here a few times.
Do you remember that weekend?
Yes.
You remember that day?
Yeah, a little bit. I had a lot of hot damn in my system that day.
We that was when we got the most views on our Facebook page.
Yep.
The first time we ever went live on YouTube.
I believe we were waxing the young Christian. Yeah.
We got a lot of views that day. Yes. And then was it the next day that we ended up going and doing a workout session?
Yeah, we ended up we were planning a match with somebody. It was hot as hell too.
I think with the Outsiders.
Yeah, we never had that match because they chickened out.
Yeah. They didn't get it booked.
I don't even know where we were supposed to go for that match. Wasn't it in Tennessee somewhere?
Memphis.
Oh, okay. I've wrestled there a few times. It's a shitty place.
Depends on where you're at in Memphis.
Oh, true.
So, there's another company in Memphis, right?
Oh, dear God. How many they got now? Like 30?
So, now you got Johnny Dawson starting Bluff City Wrestling.
Okay.
And it's like when he goes to talk about his wrestling, he has to make some kind of hit against Dustin.
Oh, Lord.
Look, you worry about yours, and he'll worry about his. He's done enough problems as it is because every time he brings in a big name,
right?
Every time he brings in a big name, Dustin does.
Yeah.
Lawler calls him.
Calls Dustin?
No, he calls the star that's coming in.
Why?
And tries to persuade him.
What, not to come?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Dustin said that he's had issues.
Why is Lawler doing that shit?
I don't know. Well, Lawler don't like Dustin because he don't want to use Dustin. Dustin don't want to use Lawler. He don't want to use Dundee. He don't want to use them as full-time wrestlers.
Well, I don't blame him.
It's time to move on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watching Dundee. I love watching Lawler, but it's time to move on.
Dundee can't go like he used to.
Dundee can't do nothing no
more. Especially not without a fucking six-pack.
Oh, he's in bad shape, man. Bad shape.
I figured he was.
So, like when Booker come in, he called Booker.
Yeah.
Well, then Booker told him, he said, well, this is nothing like what I was called and told about.
Right.
I'll find some of those. BT and Dustin does some sit downs, and they get into it about that stuff.
Oh shit!
Scotty Lawler got a hold of Scotty Tuhati, and it ends up causing these people to. It gives Dustin a headache because these people end up giving Dustin a hard time,
right?
And they make it clear as be before it's all said, when they go to agree to do the appearance. If it's either the appearance or they're going to have them wrestle.
Right.
And Archer loves coming to Memphis. Apparently Rhino likes coming to Memphis.
Well, good.
He won't do business with Boogeyman no more.
I don't blame him. Boogeyman's right in Memphis?
Boogeyman came into Memphis and they said he was horrible.
Yeah, he's
said he wanted his money. And he called Dustin like 2:00 in the morning wanting his money.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Or he wasn't going to show up for the show. It's sad, dude. It's bad. I don't understand. Why can't people just be happy? If you're not happy with it, don't watch it and don't pay no attention to it, because that's what you're doing. You're still giving.
Yeah, because I mean, if you
any kind of
any kind of publicity is publicity,
right? You know what? I don't care if anybody likes us, but if you're out telling people that you're watching us on YouTube, you're helping us.
That's right. Or if you say, "Hey, don't watch this show," what are 10 people going to do? They're going to go watch it just to see if they like it, and you don't.
You know, what's the big deal? Why should we not like this?
You know, I don't like anybody, so I'll just be honest. Sorry, I had to eat my lunch. I hadn't had lunch yet. We started early today compared to what we normally do. We normally do noon, but we started, I think, at like 11 something. But I get your point. I mean, that's my thing. I don't understand. I don't understand some of the heat that some of these independent shows have with each other. You know, and Lawler. God, I grew up around Lawler. I've known Lawler for years. I was better friends with his son, Brian, than him. But I
got along with Jerry better than Brian.
Right, and that explains a lot, because you're a little bit older and I'm a little bit younger, but still. I mean, my first dealing with Lawler, you know, like I said, I met Jimmy Valiant when I was probably like 12 or 13 years old, okay, through Ricky Rowland, and started doing security with him at some of the events. And through them, I met Derek King, of course, the blonde-haired black guy that we all make fun of, Blackie Fargo, whatever we want to call him. The man that's scared of frogs. That's a shoot, by the way. That is a shoot. Derek King is scared of frogs. Fuck you, Derek Taylor. I mean, King. But still, the point is, I started with Derek and them slowly going from security and ring crew to refereeing to managing to wrestling and all the above. You know what I mean? And announcing and doing different things. My first dealing with Lawler came at a Walnut Ridge show through Aaron Poston, who I have a history with, the entire family, and you know, my daughter, of course. You know, we may talk about that one day, but it's not that. Man, I've got a complicated fucking life when I sit here and think about it.
Not a part of the story right now.
Do what?
It's not a part of the story right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But Lawler's in the back, and the main event that night, our heavyweight champion at the time, of course, was the human highlight reel, Austin Lane. They brought Lawler in to work him. And instead of having, in my opinion, what I thought they should have done was they should have had a 3-way and had Dirty Little Dave, Lawler, and Austin Lane out there for the belt, or something to have made it less complicated. But as the referee for this match, I was in on the conversation for the match. A lot of people don't realize, you know, referees know more than the finish, because a lot of times you have to remind the wrestlers their spots in the ring sometimes. And on the independent scene, you don't get an earpiece. You know, on AEW and WWE, they all got them little earpieces and them little talkie boxes that they can push. And you can see Aubrey Edwards sometimes pushing that and talking to the people in the back. On the independent scene, you don't get that. Okay, you have to sit in on the conversation. You have to pay attention to what you're doing, one match at a time. And so we're sitting there and we're going over the finish for the match that night. Austin's like, "I'll just pin you, blah, blah, blah." "Oh, you're not pinning me. Ain't no fucking way." I'm like, oh, okay. And this brings me back to my point of, when you bring someone in, aren't they working for you? That's how I always looked at it. Now I get it that guys want to protect themselves, okay? And talking about protecting themselves, we know the Iron Sheik or anybody back in the day, they had an image to protect because if they were undefeated, they wanted to stay undefeated, or if they had never been pinned, they wanted to stay never been pinned, so they would get counted out or disqualified, shit like that. But Lawler was not going to let anyone pin him. He was hell bent on that. He said, blah, 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 we can do it this way, blah, 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 we can do it that way. It boiled down to Lawler doing the chain gimmick, tucking it under his armpit into his tights, all that good shit, and then the chain falling out and me reversing the decision. Match was a disqualification. Austin kept the belt, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But Lawler set a tone for me that night because I thought, oh, well, if he's this way, when we bring someone else in, are they going to be the same fucking way? Like, are all these big name guys that have been to the top, are they all assholes like this? And so that was my first real dealing with Jerry Lawler. And then I started working for him and with him, and he wasn't so bad. And I kind of understood his point because later on I asked him why he did it. And he said, well, he's fucking nobody, and I didn't want nobody to fucking hit me. You know what I mean? And I get that. You're Jerry the King fucking Lawler, and you go out there and you got Austin Lane in the ring. And I have all the respect in the world for Austin Lane. Traveled the road with him. Literally, I respect Austin a lot more than I respect a lot of the guys on the indie scene because of of all the time that Austin put into working with me in particular when we would travel the roads together. But, Lawler called him a nobody and said that's, I didn't want nobody to pin me. And it makes sense. If you've been to the top of the mountain, you don't go out and just put over anybody. That was another thing, with Jeff Jarrett. And again, I have mad respect. Idolized Jeff Jarrett just as much as I idolized Shawn Michaels because I grew up around Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was one of my major influences in this business. And watching Jeff Jarrett go to GCW and work with Effie and give Effie the rub, and I love Effie. But in Jeff Jarrett's mind, you got to think, who is Effie, right? And so I'm like, why? You see all these guys coming like John Moxley and Blake Christian coming up, man. That's coming up with just in a few weeks. That's going to be an epic fucking match. Like, John Moxley is going to give that kid so much, and he's going to skyrocket that kid's career to the fucking top. I'm surprised Blake Christian has not been asked to sign a contract with AEW. I know he did an AEW dark match or something a while back. I don't know who with, but I look forward to seeing him take on John Moxley. That is going to be fucking incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm ready to see that.
And so that's one of my things is I've learned that these big names come in, their job is to give that rub. It's not to lay down for just anybody. They have to respect you and see that you're going somewhere before they will just stop what they're doing and allow you to pin them and take value over them, if that makes any sense. But I always took offense to that with Lawler the first few times. I mean, we got along better in later years, but he was never at the top of my bucket list of people I wanted to hang out with all the time because I knew that he had a side to him. So him, I don't know, him causing this conflict with Dustin, it's kind of shitty. Because, I mean, if you cared enough about Memphis wrestling, you'd have never shut down.
I mean, this is not the first time because and this got to do, and I can understand where this happened, but, Greg Anthony they didn't give him the Dyer County Fair.
Right.
They gave it to Dustin and them.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I ended up recording Lawler at Pro Wrestling Mid-South because the night they did the show at the fair, they had the night where they did the show at the Herb WrestlePlex, and it was a free show, and your main event had Jerry Lawler in it.
And they did that to counter-run the fair.
And during the intermission, you had Lawler out there signing autographs and stuff, and he even plugged a little On Deck with Titanic.
Yeah. Fuck you, buddy. I just, man, I don't understand all the heat. But why would they give him the Dyer County Fair when he's running Memphis? Is he running a show over that way? That makes no sense.
Hold on, it gets better. So I think they did it because of the TV.
Oh.
And they didn't give it to Greg. So then Greg runs Memphis on Thursday. He runs Ripley on Friday and Dyersburg on Saturday.
Good God.
So Friday night, he has his show at the old Power Pro Arena. Okay. American Hostile Championship Wrestling and Memphis Wrestling came together and did a show in Ripley on a Friday night.
Oh.
Okay.
Woo. Wow.
So that kind of upped, then they started, they kind of upped, Pro Wrestling itself, they kind of upped them up a little bit to bring in some people. And they normally Picture Perfect only wrestles on Saturday. Well, they brought Picture Perfect in on Friday night because, John Michael is the junior Southern Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
Christian Jacobs is now the Unified Champion.
Oh, there you go.
So they brought them in to work, and yeah, so they brought it. I think they had somebody kind of decent up in there too. Can't remember who it was. I can't remember the card, but they had somebody else there too.
Oh man, that's hardball.
And I think my guys from APW were there too. I think they were there that night. It was a packed house. They had a packed house that night, and they had a pretty good crowd. They about 250. They said over to their show.
But it proves something. Okay, let me say this.
People will. If you're putting on a good show, people will come.
Exactly.
Granted, somebody's putting their tickets on for free. Which will draw folks.
Oh yeah, anything free, you're gonna fucking pack the house.
Right.
But still, I mean,
how many of those are gonna win back next week?
Right.
It's been crazy. I mean,
wrestling's
we didn't have like a huge crowd in Black Rock, but it was a good crowd, but it was hot. If you don't have air conditioner, it's going to be kind of hard to bring the people out because people don't want to sit in the heat.
No, they don't. Especially, I mean, we've been running in the 100 degrees and up range the past few weeks while I've been out here running my ass off playing house bitch and fixing the fence and cutting down trees and all that good stuff. So the fact that we have a tropical disturbance sitting out here in the Gulf that's slowly moving toward Texas. I forgot to tell you about that. We actually have 3 disturbances out here that are making their way slowly this way. One of them's already here. It is in the Gulf, and they said it wasn't going to do anything, and now all of a sudden it's growing, and it could become a tropical storm before it gets to Texas later tomorrow or Saturday. And then we have the one that could become Bonnie, that's heading toward Nicaragua, and that's the best I can say that name. Don't ask me to say it again because I always butcher that. And then we have the third system that could possibly affect us that's behind it, that Bonnie has kind of pushed up, and it's going across the Caribbean, and hopefully it'll, fall apart, but they're saying it could be up here by next week, and that it may develop, it may not. They don't know. But
is it Caribbean? Is it Caribbean or is it Caribbean?
I say Caribbean. My wife says Caribbean. I don't know. I say Caribbean.
It's like me and the people at work. We need to be talking of like sodies, and they talk pops.
No, it's soda. It ain't no pop. That's a northern thing. Mm-hmm. I want me a fucking Coke, or I want me a soda. I don't want no pop. I don't know what a pop is other than a pop from the crowd.
Oh, that's a wrestling thing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, so it's raining a little bit. We've had this tropical disturbance sending some storms toward us, and so it's cooled us off. So it's not bad right
off
now.
Up here a lot.
Well, thank God. I'm telling you, my arm's blistered. I can barely use my left arm. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go to a hot arena if it ain't got no fucking air. I ain't coming. Sorry about it. I ain't even gonna rest. I damn sure wouldn't be doing no outdoor shows right now. That's for sure.
Look, I asked the people that deal with the air conditioning at work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're having an issue with it not staying cool in here, even though half of those freaking windows. Huh?
Fix your microphone. There you go.
Am I better?
Yeah.
So I know half the building's, windows, and they had fixed the rest of my ceiling in my room, in my office. So we were getting the heat from that and on the windows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's not cooling it off in here. Well, when I was off last week, they fixed the rest of my roof.
Right.
And then yesterday, the air conditioning guys decided to come clean the unit.
Is it working better?
Yeah.
Good. We gotta get the one here at the house cleaned, but we hadn't had time because every time we go to schedule it, it starts storming. I'll tell you.
If you go out there and you spray it down with your water hose, it should help it out.
Yeah, I can go to Lowe's and buy the stuff. That's what I told my mother-in-law and my wife. But being the house bitch, they like me to deal with all the service people. It is what it is.
It's free labor if you just do it.
That's what I said. I like free labor. That's why I went out here and chopped the fucking tree down.
I plan on taking and spraying out our carport. It needs it.
I need you to bring me your
the dogs turn into a little bitch when it fucking rains and stuff. They want to shit on the damn porch.
Yep, mine do too. They're scared of the rain. I don't know why. I love the rain. I go out and sit in the carport and listen to it.
Which grill are you wanting?
I want your Blackstone.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I need to get that thing fired up.
I need to call my mother-in-law into buying me one.
Mine only cost me, with the grill and gas, cost me about $500.
That ain't bad. I'm still throwing up the old chargo.
That's what we've been doing. Look, so my sister and them come over, right?
Yeah.
Sunday. So they come over and everything. I ain't seen my sister in forever. And I send James out there to grill the hot dogs. I got tired of waiting, so we just baked the hamburgers, which are really good, and they're juicy if you do it that way.
Yeah, I bake hamburgers all the time.
So we turn around, and he takes and gets this old charcoal that's been rained on, He said, it's not lit. It won't stay lit. I was like, well, throw it out and get the dude bag that's in the back of my car.
Hey, there you go.
So he goes out there and he just puts it on top of the other stuff. I said, I told you to take the old stuff out and put that in.
Yeah, you can't
Well,
put new on top of
her husband goes out there and they have the same issue. And they're still not listening to me. So I kind of raised my voice. I said, take the old shit out and put it on and put the new stuff in there. Well, nobody said anything. He raised his voice. I said, are you raising your voice at me? I said, I will have my sister beat your ass again.
Oh, yeah. If you come to our house, it looks like you're hanging out with vampires. We got all the curtains pulled, the lights off. The only time I turn a light on, like I got a light on now so that y'all can see me. But other than that, we keep everything pulled shut so the heat stays out, man. If not, it stays. Boy, I hate it.
I like to kind of keep mine closed. I got to get these boxes out of here from my shoes that I got in this stuff today. And they're going to work. I got me some of those slip-on shoes. And those are going to work for work.
You need to get you some of them Hey Dudes, man.
And then I got me a pair of Grant Hill Fila shoes.
Let me show you these. These are great. I love these fucking things. They're called Hey Dudes. And they are so soft on the inside. Dude, look at this shit.
Let me see the top of them.
They comfy as shit.
Okay, but I can't wear that to work.
Well, you got to have hard toe.
Well, I don't have to have hard toe. It's just I got to have black.
Oh, they got black.
And it looks like, but I don't think black house shoes would work. I'm looking for something for work.
Bro. They ain't house shoes, bro. I wear these.
They look like house shoes. Well, look, they may not be house shoes to you, but they're like house shoes.
Look at the color. That's cool, isn't it? Look at that orange and black. How about that shit?
Oh, yeah.
But they're
bagel colors.
Yeah. Them ain't fucking house shoes, man. I bought them at the Buckle. They're called Hey Dudes. They're comfortable as shit. Yeah.
The Buckle? What the fuck's a Buckle?
You ain't ever been to the Buckle?
I have. I am one of those guys that are not made to roll shop at the Buckle.
Me either, bro. But these shoes are comfy as fuck. My wife was like, hey, let's go buy some Hey Dudes. And I was like, what's Hey Dudes? I was thinking like fucking Dude Ranch or some shit. I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. I'm like, okay, sure. So we get over to the Buckle, which they got some stuff now that'll fit fat people my size. So I got me a pair. What you got?
Breaking news.
What is it?
Logan Paul just signed a WWE contract.
Oh, dear God. What is the world coming to if that piece of shit wrestles? Why can't I get a contract? Sign me.
We're not in shape.
I don't give a shit. I could out wrestle him. I bet I could make that bitch cry. Give me 10 minutes with Logan Paul, and if I don't make that motherfucker cry in a stunt pull, then y'all can fucking whip me like a government mule. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, if he sits there and watch you wrestle, yeah, it'd make him cry.
Hey, fuck you, fat boy. Fuck you. Made me cry a few times.
Look, I've watched some of my shit that made me cry. I showed some people at work this week some of my matches that I have. Oh, look at you. You did so good.
Boy, you ain't never worked me. That's part of your problem. I'll tell you what. I'll beat your ass. I got the stiffest chair shot in the business. That's that cameraman from KAIT.
He ain't there no more.
I know. He had
He
to
got a
retire.
concussion. He got a concussion and a brain aneurysm, probably.
Yeah, he had to retire. I fucking put him out of his misery. Fuck that cameraman. Woo! I seen that motherfucker one day. Oh, I about whooped his ass in public. I was so mad about that. Did I ever tell you the story of the car lot show we were doing? And they brought Lawler and Brian Christopher in and Brendan back over in Jonesboro. I was wrestling my wife's ex that day.
Lee.
Yeah, dumb son of a bitch. We opened the show up. It was the hottest fuck. Goddamn, they put a black canvas. It was a black leather canvas, not like a soft canvas. That son of a bitch had been setting up in the goddamn car lot all day in that sun. And anyway, I'm sitting in the back. It's me. Dundee was there. Me, Brian, Dundee. I think Austin, Indian, and Brandon walks in. And he comes over and he's bitching. I said, "What's wrong with you?" And he said, "Well, I had to bring this silly fucking son of a bitch from KIT out here to meet Brian and Lawler because somebody hit him with a chair. And he had to do a meet and greet. And KIT made me set this meet and greet up for him. And they're trying to make sure he doesn't sue nobody and all this other shit." And I just kind of put my head down and I'm thinking about it for a minute. And I looked at Brandon and I said, "Hey, where's he at?" "Oh, he's in there with Brian and Lawler right now doing his meet and greet." I said, "Well, don't bring that sumbitch over here." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm the one that hit him, and if he comes over here, I'm going to give him a real reason to fucking cry. Because I didn't hit him that hard." And Brandon just died laughing. Brandon just thought that was the greatest shit ever. Brandon said, "Wait a minute, you're the one that hit him?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You've been hit by me. How bad's my chair shot?" "Oh, it ain't that fucking bad." I said, "I was sitting down when I hit him with the chair." Brandon said, "Oh, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way." I said, "Yeah, that motherfucker is putting on a show for you people." I said, "Because I was sitting in a chair and I barely tapped him." Brandon was hotter than a motherfucker.
Well, when we started working with Power Pro, and we were in Mark Tree, and we were doing an all-out brawl. I made it a point to go to Brandon, and because he was like the manager and was wrestling the women or stuff like that. So I had to go to Brandon. And we got back there in the back. I went over to say my thank yous and stuff. And Simon goes, "I ain't never seen no big motherfucker go after little Brandon Baxter like that before." I ever tell you the time where we were in the back of Ocella, and you remember that little? Okay, so they had a little love seat. When you walked in from the baby's face side, you went around. You came in the door. You went around there. You had a little wall right there. They had a little love seat right there.
Yeah, I used to sleep on it.
Yeah, who hadn't? So 7.
I'd get there early and take a nap.
See, 7. I want to say
7 would be Kevin Thor for those that don't know him by the name 7.
Alan Steele, Rocker was there. Dustin, I think it was Dustin, because Dustin was doing dark matches for Power Pro at the time.
There you go.
And 7, "Hey, Titanic." I was like, "Yeah. You want to play a game?" "Sure." "It's called CDs." I said, "CDs? CDs what?" He goes, "CDs nuts." I think
you do that today and you get sued for sexual harassment.
I know. Back in the day, it was a
Back
fucking
in the day, you walk
rib.
around with your dick
It was
hanging
just a
out, and
fucking
everybody
rib.
thought it was funny. Look, I tell you, one time we were in Osceola's locker room, and LaFonce called me in the office. They had Sid sitting in there, and his son Gunner, who was doing the Lord Humongous thing. I love Gunner, by the way. That kid was great. 16-year-old tall son bitch. He used to powerbomb me through the fucking ring. I loved it.
Tall as his daddy.
I know, right? At 16. So fucking that some bitch was as tall as his daddy. Anyway, LaFonce was like, "Hey, somebody go get Biscuit." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I heard him call my name, and I walked by, and the running joke was that Derek King was the Shawn Michaels of Osceola, White Lightning was the Shane McMahon, and Big Daddy was Vince. And I walked by and I looked over at White Lightning. I said, "Hey Shane, you know what Vince wants tonight?" And he goes, "You're getting the push, kid." And I said, "Oh, fuck, I'm dying." I walk in there and he says, "Hey, I need you to work Gunner tonight." I said, "Okay, cool. No problem. All I'm going to do is run at this big sumbitch and fall down 100 times because he ain't doing nothing until he power bombs me or hits me with the double axe handle. You know what I'm saying? Or puts me in the bear hug." I was like, "How long's the ass whooping going to last?" "I need you to make it look good for about 10, maybe 8 if we're lucky." Sid says, "Give me 15. I didn't see Sid sitting over there. Okay. And I had just heard the story about Sid and Orange stabbing each other with scissors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leroy had a way of ribbing me, him and Cannon both, let me tell you. They used to like to scare the fuck out of me, okay?
I love fucking Leroy.
Leroy told me, he said, "You know Sid's here, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, that son of a bitch, he'll stab you with some scissors." "What? What you talking about, Leroy? Have you lost your fucking mind?" I said, "See, it's been nice." He said, "No, that son bitch will stab you with some scissors. I'm telling you, he'll stab you with some fucking scissors." And so they start telling me the story about him and Arn getting into it in a dressing room and stabbing each other with scissors and shit. And I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'll remember that and I'll keep the scissors away whenever Sid's around." Well, I'm standing there in the office, and for some fucking reason, LaFonce has got a pair of scissors laying on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Sid says, "Give me 15. I need 15. He said, "I got to get dressed." He said, "Y'all are going on first." Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. Hold on a minute. I got to jack his chair back up. Oh, my fat ass got to get up now. But maybe I should start podcasting from the bed like you. That way I ain't got to move so much. This is ridiculous.
See, people make fun of that, but I make this shit worth it.
Better I'm going to go sit over on that throne, my fucking comfy recliner that's in here. But anyway, I see the scissors, and he's telling me give him 15. He said, "I still got to get dressed." I'm thinking, okay, cool. I gently move the scissors over. I make it non-obvious. I kind of lean up on the desk, which is a no-no, especially when Benny Mac's sitting behind it. But I slowly move the scissors, and LaFonce is the only one that caught me doing that. Like he's watching me slowly slide them over. Well, he opens the drawer where he keeps the POs, right?
Yep.
Just slides it open, and I slide the scissors right into it. And then he shuts the drawer. Well, we get through talking, and Sid tells me what he wants me to do with Gunner that night. I go back out of the office. Sid decides he's got to go take a shit. We're getting ready to start the show. Gunner's all dressed up in his suit, got his helmet on. He's over here at his door. I'm getting in my mode, man. I'm trying to pump myself up. I'm waiting for my song to hit, and Vince goes, "Biscuit, get in my office now." I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm getting fired. I ain't going
Didn't
out first."
Get out there.
Do what?
Didn't even make it out the door before you're
Didn't
going
even
to
make
get
it
your
out
ass
the door. I
fired.
was gonna get fired. And I hear Gunner's music hit. Boom. Lord Humongous goes to the ring. "What you need, LaFonce?" "I seen you move them scissors earlier. Was you scared he's going to stab you with them?" "Fuck yeah! Leroy done told me this motherfucker stabbed Arn Anderson with scissors. You think I'm any better?" I'd be dead. Well, I helped you out because I didn't want to get stabbed either. He's a crazy son of a bitch. Okay. LaFonce is telling me he's crazy. They're all ribbing me. I didn't know they was ribbing me at the time. Okay. And apparently Sid was in on it. So I go out to the ring. I'm doing this shit with Gunner. Take a couple of clotheslines, run into him with some shoulder tackles. He doesn't move. I go down. I'm like, man, we gotta go. Like, I keep looking over at Calvin. He's doing the announcement. I'm like, what's the time? I'm laying on the canvas looking over at hey, what's the time? Y'all been in the ring 15 minutes. The fuck are we doing? I'm flopping around like a dead fish. Okay, this kid's just standing in one spot. I'm doing all the running, jumping off shit. He caught me off the rope, gave me a little power slam looking thing. All kinds of dumb shit. Like, just, where's Sid? Like, you supposed to come out here and save me at some point, motherfucker, because y'all supposed to be setting up for this match where you and him and Poker, and they brought Scott Hall in. I don't know. But I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, Gunner says, back drop. I said, what? He says, I give you a back drop. I said, okay. I hit the ropes. I come back. He back dropped me in the middle of that OCL ring, and you know how the OCL ring is.
Mm-hmm.
I went in a hole. Well, I couldn't get up for a minute because I was like in between two boards. And back then I weighed like $150, so my little ass just went right in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm landing. I'm like, wait a minute. He gave me a backdrop. And I mean, I went through the fucking ceiling. I was way up there. It was great. I was like, okay, we've been out here for over 15 minutes. Sid ain't hit the ring yet. By God, the door comes open and I hear it slam. Sid's on his way to the ring with scissors. I'm like, I'm out of here. Fuck this. Gunner grabs me up, hits me with a double axe handle to the back, hits me with another one. He goes to pick me up with the power bomb. By the time Sid got in the ring, the scissors were gone. I don't know where he fucking put them. But he brought the scissors with him. It was funny as hell. We get in the back, and LaFonce is sitting there by the door just laughing his ass off. He said, what's wrong with you? You look like you seen a ghost. I said, he come out with scissors. Where'd they go? He said, oh, it was just a rib, kid. You're fine. Sid comes in the back, and he comes over and gives me a big old hug. He said, I see. He said, they told me to rib you about the scissors. I'm sorry. He said, it wasn't my idea. He said, they said you was new, and they wanted me to give you a hard time. I said, it's all right. After that, dude, me and Sid were cool as shit. I worked Sid, I don't know how many times. I worked with him and Gunner, and then we did the shit at your show, and Gunner caught me and put me in the back of the bear hug and ran me into the pole. I thought he was going to kill me. He didn't stop. He put me through the pole.
I remember Gunner come to me. He said, I'm going to do this one match, but don't ever put me with Snuffy.
You know why? You want to know why? Because for like a month straight, that's all he got to do was wrestle Snuffy and Spiker.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like every time
I told him about that. I said it won't happen again, my man.
Like it was horrible. And Snuffy looked like shit. No offense to Snuffy, but he couldn't bump. We'd go out there and they'd be like, hey, we're putting Gunner out there with Snuffy and Spiker tonight. And I'm like, okay, cool, handicap match. Sweet.
So we were wrestling in East Prairie one night.
Oh, shit.
And so the first match was a number one contender match between me as I'm a bad guy.
Of course, you're
versus Snuffy.
Oh, dear God.
The winner went on to the main event for the MCW heavyweight title against Moondog Spot.
I'd have let Snuffy win just to be fucking retarded.
Well, I unbuckled his overalls and threw him in the ropes and gave him a clothesline, and his overalls just went all the way down to his knees.
I did that. You remember Michael Tucker?
Hillbilly Tucker.
I took that goofy bastard one night in Jonesboro. He pissed me off. He wouldn't fucking sell for shit. And so I took him, and he had suspenders, and them overalls. I hooked him through the top rope when he wasn't paying attention. I was up there doing a 10 punch, and I hooked him, and he went to come running out after me, and it was great.
He contacted me one time, asked me if I'd come work at Harrisburg. And I asked him, I said, well, I have a couple of questions. Okay.
Who's booking?
Who am I working? And what is my pay? Well, I'll pay you $100. Okay. Who am I working? Well, kind of had this idea of you working at Abyss. And then the next month you work Raven.
I've worked Raven before.
I'll do it. I show up for the show.
Nobody's there.
Abyss couldn't be there because of TNA.
Oh, bullshit.
And I got stuck wrestling the party animal.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Which was a drop off. I still got paid $100.
Hey, at least you got paid.
Guess what I just saw?
What did you just saw?
USC and UCLA are leaving the Pac-12, and they've been in it since the 20s. They are leaving to go to the Big Ten as soon as 2024.
Wow. That's huge.
I know you watch college football, so you may end up having to play them.
Yeah.
Because we already know Oklahoma and Texas last year went to SEC.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if I can find any.
Speaking of some huge news, I got spoilers on Rampage. Y'all want some spoilers? Who wants some spoilers? Let's get some spoilers out there.
No, I don't want no spoilers.
I like spoilers. Let me give you a spoiler. We got the Royal Rampage for the first #1 contender for the AEW, good God, interim AEW Heavyweight Championship. The guy who's going to get the shot at Jon Moxley. Can you guess? Just take a wild guess. Who do you think would win? Because I guarantee you're not now. Adam Cole's not cleared to wrestle.
No. Eddie Kingston.
Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly. What?
Eddie Kingston.
Nope.
Chris Jericho.
Nope. I'll tell you what. Speaking of Luchasaurus, I like the heel turn. He looked good in a dark color. Let me tell you what. I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. It came down to two guys. Oh, good God, the Storms are moving in early. Brody King and Darby Allin is who it came down to.
So it's going to be him and Brody?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Moxley versus Brody King. And the winner of that match will eventually wrestle CM Punk, who suffered a horrible, horrible foot injury.
Broke his foot.
Yeah. And apparently, what was it? Santana may have injured his ACL or something.
I saw that last night.
The Young Bucks
was really good last night.
Yes, it was. And we haven't even really talked about it. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The Young Bucks took on Hikaru Goto and Yoshi Hashihana. Can you tell me who won?
The Bucks.
Yes, sir. Look at you booking shit. And then, of course, apparently they had a massive walkout during the taping of the main event, Toni Storm versus Nyla Rose last night. They said that people got tired. I mean, you sit through a 1 hour blood and guts match and you scream your heart out and you kind of do get tired. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they said people walked out, but Toni Storm managed to defeat Nyla Rose in the main event of Rampage. Tony Khan wants to know why his ratings on Rampage are going down. Well, because we know what happens before it happens, Jack. Stop pre-taping shit. But let's talk about it. We have beat around the bush all day and not talked much about blood and guts. Dead air. I was waiting for you to say something.
I'm sorry. I saw something and it was pretty cool. Pretty cool looking. My bad.
So the first thing that I have to point out, and I messaged you as soon as it happened because it was the most obvious fucking thing I'd ever seen. And it broke my heart. Apparently, blockhead Matt Maynard obviously has never gigged himself, has never juiced, never bladed, you know, like, nicky, you know what I'm saying? And so John Moxley is like laying on the canvas and like gigging Matt Maynard last night. And I was like, guys, can we not like put the camera on something else? Like there's 6 fucking people on each team in this match. Is there not anybody else we can fucking focus on while he's over here doing the favor and going to Matt Maynard's fucking forehead? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's, in my opinion, shitty camera work. That's on Tony Khan. Because he's the one back there going, switch to camera 1, switch to camera 2. Oh, let's go over here to 3. Let's keep it on John Moxley gigging the motherfucker, okay? It's obvious. And then all of a sudden there's blood, okay? I was pissed.
Let me ask you a question. Or let's go back to Forbidden Door.
All righty.
So when did a sling blade turn into a cause you to bleed?
I have no fucking clue. I don't understand. Moxley gets a sling blade, and the next thing I know, he's juicing like a fucking stuck pig. He's leaking everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did he like rip your fucking face off with the sling blade? Because I don't see no skin hanging off. Like, what in the hell
caused you to bleed on a sling blade?
Like, I missed something because we go from the sling blade and Moxley rolling to the floor to rolling back in the ring, and he's got color. And I'm like, what happened? I mean, Charlie came over. He was sitting here with me. We were watching it together, and we both just stopped and looked at each other, and I said, wait a minute. Did we miss something? Like, did he do something after the sling blade? Did, like, the camera glitch? Because all of a sudden, we got a sling blade and a bloody John Moxley. I was lost. I don't understand it. I mean, if you want to get color, let's go outside and let me ram your head into the fucking pole, and then you can get color. Do something. God, I don't know, man. That was just, I was like, what the fuck? Sling blade color. Sweet. All right, Ric Flair.
There was a lot of blood last night, though.
Yeah, what's his name? Oh, my God. The only one that really pissed me off, other than the fact that they watched Moxley gig dude, was the fact that Daniel Garcia did not bleed.
Yeah, he bled.
Did he? I didn't see him bleed.
Yeah.
I wanted to
him and Parker bled.
Parker bled really good.
Yes, he did.
He looked like
Parker. The only ones that didn't bleed was Jericho, Hager, and Guevara.
Well, I didn't see Claudio bleed a lot either.
And Claudio didn't bleed. Well, I thought we were just talking about one team.
No, I mean, we talk about them all. I don't care.
So on the other team, it was what, Moxley?
Moxley bled. That's about it.
Yeah.
But that's because he was already over.
Santana was hurt.
Yeah. Ortiz looked weird with the red paint on his head and the white on his face. It didn't make a lot of sense. But Guevara didn't bleed either.
Yeah, Guevara don't bleed.
That's weird.
But he did take the big bump of the night.
Yeah, that was nice. I loved his form. If they were judging him for a diving contest, that would have been a perfect 10. His form was, man, he whoo, and then just went right through the table. It was beautiful. The crash pads caught him perfectly. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yeah,
that was wild.
Pads. It was great.
Even if you do have crash pads, it's still fucking crazy.
Yeah. Them crash pads didn't hold much.
Did you see how his side was getting all bruised up?
Yep. He went through them tables and landed on all that shit. It hurts, man. Ain't no crash pads. I mean, they'll absorb some of the blow, but take it from a man.
There ain't no faking that fall. There ain't no faking that fall.
No, take it from a man who jumped off of a fucking a skyrise into a stack of plastic bottles one time. No matter what's under you, you always feel the impact. I hurt my ass bone on that jump. Yeah, I mean, that he's going to feel it. Jericho, I like how they played up Kingston and Claudio at the top there, with Claudio getting Maynard to tap out and Kingston trying to get Jericho to tap out and Jericho not tapping out. I look forward to seeing where that goes, because I feel like we're eventually going to get Kingston versus Claudio at some point. They do have some heat from their Chikara days or whatever it was back in the day. So I look forward to that. I think he's a good addition to the Blackpool Combat Club. Yeah, and Blood and Guts, man, they beat the shit out of each other. I will say that Matt Maynard, oh, God, I can't stand him.
Matt Menard?
Yeah, whatever his name is. Fucking blockhead. That's what we call him around here. Yeah, man. Yeah, he talks like he's a macho man. And he's always chewing that gum. And he thinks he's something special. He gets on my nerves. He really pissed me off when Kingston came in with the kendo stick and was just like weighing lace to people.
Is that Thunder?
Yes, sir. I told you the storm was moving in early. It's
awesome.
We're on the east side of that tropical disturbance that's in the Gulf Coast right now that's moving toward Texas. So we're getting wet. It's been raining for days down here, which is great. It's kept the temperature down. We are actually at 88 degrees right now, thanks to the rain. But no, I mean, Eddie Kingston comes in, boom, kendo stick guy goes down, boom, kendo stick guy goes down. And I've been hit with a kendo stick. They hurt. I mean, it's not going to kill you, but they hurt. But Matt Maynard, Menard, whatever the fuck you want to call him, old blockhead there, he just keeps taking a beating. I think he took like 100 kendo stick shots and some other shit before he finally got out of the way so that Kingston could get after Jericho. Kind of pissed me off that he wanted to no-sell. I loved Moxley pulling out the fork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you hear JR? Is Abdullah here?
The Butcher here, yeah. They were in Detroit, so it makes sense. Got to get the Butcher reference. I was waiting for a pencil. You know, the Sheik used to be in Detroit, the original Sheik. He used to run big-time wrestling up there. I was waiting for somebody to pull out a pencil and start stabbing a motherfucker. You know, I've watched that movie here. Let me throw it back up here for you here. I Like to Hurt People. That one right there. It's got the original Sheik in it, and he's using a legitimate pencil, and it is a number 2 classroom certified pencil that you can use. Students, make sure you get those as school is about to start up again. But he's using an old number 2 pencil, and he's stabbing the fuck out of Terry Funk. And I mean, he ain't gimmicking that shit, dude. That pencil went that far in Terry Funk's chest.
besides, since you brought up Terry Funk, happy 78th birthday today to old Terry Funk.
To the Funker down there at the Double Cross Ranch in Texas. I need to reach out to him. He ain't doing too well. I think he's living in assisted living right now.
He is.
He's in rough shape.
Well, he's done a lot for our business. And
at 60-something years old, he was moonsaulting off shit and wrestling and exploding barbed wire death matches. So there you go. It happens. One of the greatest of all time, an NWA champion, son of a legend. He is a living legend. Happy birthday to the one and only badass motherfucker with a hot ass iron that'll stick to your butt, Terry Funk. But him and Lawler had that empty arena match. Ooh. I imagine that was a hard match to do.
Mm-hmm.
When there's not a crowd, it is hard to work at your normal level without that adrenaline boost.
You know, I've wrestled about the same amount of people.
Yeah.
At times.
I noticed something. Somebody, Mr. Danny Russell, shared something the other day on Facebook. It was a flashback to 4th and the Forest a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my very last encounters at 4th and the Forest, I voluntarily went back to the referee role because they couldn't get anybody to referee. And I wanted to be a part of it because a man that I have referred to ever since meeting him as my grandpa, Mr. Bobby Eaton, who took me under his wing, and every time we worked the show together, would hang out with me. He even sat with my oldest son, Riley, one night while I was in the ring wrestling and held him on his lap and sat right there at the upstairs balcony with him in his lap and held Riley while they watched me wrestle. And Riley fell asleep in his arms. And I mean, that's family. Bobby Eaton has been family to me since I met him. God rest his soul. But I remember refereeing that night, and Bobby was not doing well. He tagged up with Greg Anthony. They were doing the Golden
Midnight Gold.
Yeah, Midnight Gold. That's what it was. And Bobby, I unlaced his boots for him and helped him get them off. He had some fluid on his heart and was in really rough shape. And I think that was one of his last matches. And then I worked, Southern Outlaw Wrestling. They brought him in, and I was their commissioner. They had me as the face of the company because the owner actually wrestled. And so Bobby, I gave him the award that night for a lifetime achievement in our business. They had him a plaque made, and he come out and they played the old Midnight Express music, and I got him to dance a little bit that night and brought some of the youth back out in him. Me and him had a blast out there, and he gave a little speech. And but no, I mean, I could sit here and recount some of the times that I've hung out with some of these people that you know, as a kid they seemed larger to life than I ever thought they were, and now it brings a tear to my eye. That's like Piper's book I read recently. And if you haven't read, if you like to read, definitely check it out. But if you haven't read it, oh God, I'm too fat and old to be reaching like this. But his daughter, Ariel Till Toombs, and his son, Colt Baird Toombs, they wrote and finished Rowdy's book for him after he passed on. And this kind of gives you a real insight into the real life and real raising of the Hot Rod Rowdy Piper. He wrote a book years ago that was good. I've read it, but this one he'd kind of started a soul searching trip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Returning home, trying to find out things about his life. Because, you know, we were always told he was from Glasgow, Scotland or wherever, and all this stuff about how he was raised. And this really is an eye opener because they talk to his, this is his son and daughter both, right? But he had started this and then he passed away. They went on and they finished this journey for him, wrote the book. And I have to say it's one of the best reads I've read. And it did. And I guess it was because I got to know Rowdy in his later years a lot better than I ever thought I would.
I have a question.
Yes.
So remember when we watched the that show? I pre-bought the show and was supposed to get the Jeff Hardy trading card.
Yes.
Did you ever get that, or because I sure in the hell haven't seen it?
No. What I would do,
it's in your name.
Oh, it's in my name.
The card was that I paid for it, but the account's in your name.
Okay, I'll message them and ask. I'll message them and see what's up with that, because I had to message them about the NWA stuff, and I ended up getting more than I was supposed to because I threw a fit. You know me, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I was supposed to get that. Oh, they're just announcing the USC UCLA thing on Pat McAfee show.
There you go.
I'm ahead of them. We're ahead of them. Yeah, I like
right?
Pat McAfee.
I guess I better let you go then so you can watch old Pat McAfee.
Yeah, the Pat McAfee show, it lasts 3 hours every day, pretty much. It's pretty good. It's exciting.
I'm not exciting. I'm boring.
Not exciting, inciting.
Oh, inciting. I thought you said exciting. I thought, well.
No, I gotta be careful because I usually end up trying to fall asleep when I'm watching it. No,
don't do that.
Yeah, because I'm usually watching it. I'm at work, but I ain't supposed to be doing that.
Let's not do that.
But I didn't say that I did that.
No, I didn't hear nothing. So now I've been hiding out in here to avoid the mother-in-law and the kids this morning. That's my goal.
So we got money in the bank this week.
Yeah. Let's let me pull
at the end of the month, and at the end of the month, we've got the Roaster Ric Flair.
And we got Death Before Dishonor.
Death Before Dishonor. Then we got
the last match.
SummerSlam, and then we got the last match.
Yeah, we got a big month coming up. It's July. Let's see.
Pushing those shows and everything else.
Yeah, let's see. Let's get to the Money in the Bank. Money in the
I don't think I got any shows until September.
I don't have any right now because I ain't going nowhere. Apparently, this is the upcoming 13th annual Money in the Bank. It will hail from MGM Grand Garden Arena in Paradise, Nevada. We will have Bianca Belair taking on Carmella for the Raw Women's Championship. I hear AJ Styles, is he making his way onto the set now?
Well, my mom was trying to call me.
Oh, okay. We will have Seth freaking Rollins taking on Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Omos versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle versus to be determined. In the men's, this is weird. In the men's Money in the Bank ladder match for a world championship match contract. It is stated that a world championship match contract. It doesn't say WWE. It says world. So there's that. And then we got Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Oscar, Shotzi Blackheart, and Becky Lynch for the women's championship contract. And then we have the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is now held by Ronda Rousey, taking on Natalya. Are you asleep?
Not yet.
You were dozing off over there. Then of
No,
course
I ain't
we'll have
know. I've been trying to get somebody to come to work third shift tonight because one of my employees had a death in the family. And now one of them decided to finally answer me no. And I'm trying to get it covered, but it is what it is.
I know that feeling, brother. And then we have the Usos versus the Street Profits for the Tag Team Unified WWE Tag Team Championships. And then, of course, the WWE United States Championship will be on the line when Theory takes on Bobby Lashley. That is Money in the Bank. Now, for Flair's last match, I think they've announced, one fucking match so far? It was
two or three.
Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up my notes. I keep notes on my phone, but AAA apparently is joining the upcoming Ric Flair's last match. They will be a part of the event that takes place on July 31st as part of StarCast, and also announced on New Japan has a match now. Clark Connors versus Rey Natara. That should be a good match. Clark Connors really impressed me at Forbidden Door. So the updated lineup for the Fight TV airing show is Ric Flair versus to be determined Impact World Championship match, Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu. Impact Knockouts Championship match, Jordan Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo versus Rachel Ellering. Oh, looky here. The Wolves versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes, I remember that.
And, of course, Clark Connors versus Rhea Natora. That shall be interesting. Now, on Flair's last match, here's my thing. This will be one of our last topics today as we're getting close to our 2-hour mark. They're putting it like it's going to be a singles match, but I was under the impression that this is supposed to be Ric Flair and FTR versus the Rock and Roll Express and someone else. So have they changed the format of this match? Does Flair feel confident enough to go at it in a singles match? I know he mentioned pacemaker issues.
He said he just wanted somebody that could work. He don't care if it's a big name or not, as long as it's somebody that can work. But it's got to be some big name in order for it to be able to draw. It's got to be a main event match. It's going to be on the main event.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm available.
Because, if they want some jabroni, we're available.
I'm a big name. Don't fucking call me a jabroni.
You're a fucking jabroni.
I'm a fixing, tree chopping, house bitch, eyebrow raising, key lime pie eating, rum drinking asshole. I'll go out there and beat the fuck out of Ric Flair.
Yeah, well, he ain't dealing with no house bitches.
Hey.
He's already divorced them 5 times.
I know, right? The fuck? No, for real, though. I mean, I'd work Flair. Come on.
No shit, motherfucker. I would, too.
He put me in a figure 4 one time. It hurt. I owe him a couple. Give that motherfucker some stiff chops.
It'd be the first time he won a fucking match with the figure 4.
I know, right? I'd tap out in a heartbeat. I figure if I was a betting man, and I don't bet very often,
I'd pick Sting.
I do too.
Why not Sting? Just go ahead and announce it, Sting.
And if not Sting, then I feel like it'll be a 6-man, and I don't know who the third will be for the Rock and Roll Express.
Or do Ricky Morton.
There you go. Ric Flair and Ricky Morton. That'd be great.
That's a rematch of what, 87 Great American Bash?
Right. Or bring Lawler in. There's Lawler.
That is in Nashville.
I mean, we know Funk can't do it. We know Steamboat said he won't do it due to his health. Jeff Jarrett is involved in this, but I don't know to what extent.
Well,
because
he's involved in fight.
Yeah,
he's involved in fight.
Yeah,
and he can't do that because he works for the WWE now.
True. So I don't know. I mean, there's Lawler, there's Sting. I'm really leaning more towards Sting because I think there's a little bit of redemption that Sting and Flair need to get from that last match they had at Nitro when it was sold to Vince. So I don't know. There's a number of different possibilities, but like I said, if I'm a betting man, I'm leaning more toward the icon, the legend, Sting. Oh, Sting. Sorry. I'm not Tony. Schiavone.
Yeah, and he's going to be calling a show. So
there you go. So there it is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could really be anybody, but I feel like it'll be the icon. I don't feel like Lawler would do it since he's under contract with Vince.
Can't be Hardy. Can't be Dusty.
No, they all gone, unfortunately.
All the good ones are gone or assisted living.
Yeah. Man, that's
and Sting, he's the only one that's
stupid enough.
Only one that's not using a walker yet.
He keeps jumping off shit. He might be.
He won't need to in this one. It could be an easy match. Watch, this will be an easy match. This could be an easy match for him. This will be the one that put him out.
Yeah, they'll do a walker on a pole match.
I thought you said somebody else was running. It's not Vince Russo.
Sorry, that was wrong of me. But I mean, that's God. And I love Flair. Don't get me wrong, but Jesus, I'm just thinking of the list of people that it could be. I mean, it really couldn't be. It's got to be Sting. It's got to be.
The only one that makes sense.
He'll come out on TV at AEW and challenge him or some shit. They'll build it up. AEW will be involved in this shit somehow. What do you want to bet?
I don't know.
It'll be publicity. That or it'll be somebody from Japan or AAA. Can't be Inoki. Inoki's got what?
His son-in-law.
There you go. And Andre El Idolo taking out the Flair. Can't be Antonio Inoki. He's not in good shape. He's still been in and out of the hospital trying to recover. So I don't know. Lots and lots to ponder over the next few weeks.
He can't be Muda.
No, he just retired.
Yeah.
They mentioned Muda the other day. They want Muda and Sting.
Those wrestling retirements last forever.
Yeah, sure do. I think I've come out of 5 of them myself.
So I just got an email that my special order has been shipped.
Oh shit! I'm wondering what your special order is.
And I'm not even going to tell you off the thing because I really want it to be a surprise.
Okay.
It's really cool because there's going to be a thing in it that I send to you. I'm going to send you part of it. I'm going to send something to you, part of it.
All right.
Because I really bought it for one thing.
Huh.
I bought it really for one thing, but it comes with several things.
Huh.
So I really thought I'd mean that.
I've been looking. There's something that I want that I know that you would really appreciate as well. And I think my good friend Jerry would appreciate it. I don't know, but I know you really would. And so I've been thinking about how to go about this for a trio Christmas present. So not going to tell you, but I'm sure you can guess.
Well, see, I wanted to pay it in the installments, but they wouldn't let me do that.
Oh, I know that feeling. They're fucking bullshit. They con you with that.
Yeah. So, and I even gave them my credit card information. So they just took it all off at one time. So I was like,
well, they're good at that. Yep. They're real good at that. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. They like to take money. Did you go through eBay?
No.
Yeah, well, they're all good at that. They all like to take your money. That's about all they like to do. They don't like to give it to you, that's for sure.
Oh, they like to give you something, but it ain't money.
No, a hard time, some stress. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end it here. Thank our sponsors, Mad Rabbit, code Divine20 saves you 20% off. Of course, code Divine10 at repsports.com. We'll save you some money there as well. There's an ad on the radio. That's why I'm doing that. The guy goes, .com. And it's annoying as shit. But I remember it. So I'm like, hey, if I can be annoying, maybe they'll remember. Code Divine20 saves you 20% off at Mad Rabbit. All right, we're out of here. I'm tired. Bingo, bango, bye. Have a good one. Peace, love, fried chicken. Share the passion of pro